Hey guys, if you're just joining us, my name is Chip and I am with David Hoffbrand. We are carrying on our conversation that started over at wisrael.co.uk. And last time, really great interview. Thanks so much, David. You were helping us to unpack ways that we might be able to see some of these theological institutions wake up to their Jewish roots. But this time, we really want to hone in, focus a little bit more on majority Gentile churches here in the UK. What are we able to bring to this party? We know that we're rediscovering lots of cool things about Jesus and his Jewishness. What is something that we can bring to it?
You know, the simple answer to what Gentiles bring is that the Jewish people and the Gentiles are in a marriage together. And when God brings a marriage together, he's not kind of going, oh, you know, it's going to be worse than it was, but let's bring them together anyway. He's saying, no, these two people, the Jews and the Gentiles, they need each other like man and woman needs each other. You're going to be better together. So never think that it's like there's Jewish stuff and then the Gentiles just kind of as an added extra. No. God's brought us together as equals, just like men and women. And we might have different roles, different things that we bring. And so the Gentiles, they don't need to try and become Jews. That's the first thing. I think that's a wrong path. But to bring that depth of understanding of this Jewish stuff and how do we live that out today is a wonderful thing. And look, to some extent, it's great to not have much baggage. You know, if Gentiles can come without too much spiritual baggage, then it can help them see the wood for the trees. I'm not thinking like things need restoring because they're Jewish. There's lots of stuff that's rabbinically Jewish that we don't need to restore. In fact, the opposite. Jesus spent a lot of his time arguing against things that were Jewish, right? What we're restoring is a biblical mindset. And yes, that came through the Jewish people. And yes, there's still huge amounts of it that we might want to describe as Jewish, and we want to associate with the Jews, because, as Paul said, it's through them that Gentiles have received everything, covenants, promises, and so on. But to come without the traditional rabbinical baggage and instead just do what I said about read the Bible, see what it says to you. What is it really saying here? What can we get out of this that is going to enhance our ability to build discipleship communities? But without that traditional baggage, I think, rejoice in that. Gentiles, it says, are the wild olive. The wild olive, yeah? Come with the wild. That's what I would say. Don't try and kind of become traditional. Don't try and become, bound up in anything. Simply explore, learn, grow. And if the Gentile churches do that, then they bring this beautiful sense of freshness and who they are to that marriage with the Jewish people. That's the way I see it. So we come with humble hearts, learning from one another, and majority Gentile churches can bring so much to the Jewish people, I think, as well. One of the church's roles is to make the Jewish people jealous, but that isn't by becoming Jews. It's by living out the fullness, just as Jesus did, of the Torah. What does it really mean? And they don't have to call it Torah. I'm not saying I'm not a big fan of, some Jewish people would say to me, "What? How come you don't call him Yeshua all the time? Why do you call him Jesus?" And I'm like, we know who we're talking about. It's okay. I don't mind that they call me David in France. It's like, I understand. But to make the Jewish people jealous means to reconnect with just the biblical truth of who Jesus is, an understanding of the context in which he's taught, to understand the teaching as it was intended, and to get the best out of that inheritance that they have. I think that'll make the Jewish people jealous, because they'll see people who know God and make him known in ways that are really profound. So what did Jesus do? He went beyond their traditions. He got to the very heart of what the purpose of the commands was. His whole message was, you have to go beyond the minimum. You have to go beyond the righteousness of the Pharisees and not look at the external so much, but really come to the heart of what this is about. And I think if Gentile churches can do that and not create their own little, let's be honest, this is how it can be and can seem to the world. If Gentile churches can just do that rather than creating this little subculture with its own language and its own customs and its own traditions that is all baffling to the world outside, if we can just come with the heart of God's commandments in the way that Jesus said, come with that heart to love, be loved, demonstrate love, build a loving community, all of these things, then I think we're bringing something that is powerful and amazing. It's not one of either extremes of either throwing away the whole of what we call old, because we've just called it old, nor is it about him trying to become Jewish. It's about getting the actual meat and heart, not throwing out the baby with the bathwater. That's where I would say.
That is perfect, David. You're saying keep it wild, keep it simple.
Yeah, absolutely. Keep it wild and simple.
Hey guys, we hope you've enjoyed this little interview. It is a conversation. We need your voice in the conversation too. Check out whyisrael.co.uk. Thank you, David. We'll see you in the next one.
Stay wild and simple.